once again to another episode of The Bug Report. And, well, why Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days? Because I worked on it, you know, shockingly enough. That's the whole concept of this series. But, seriously, Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days, very, very vivid memories of this one. It was the first game I tested when I was working for IDOS. After some of the previous episodes you guys may or may not have seen in the Bug Report, I was working for a completely different company back then, and then I moved on to IDOS after that. And that was like the last company I stuck with until YouTube became sort of kind of a thing. You know, this is a pretty clean game for all intents and purposes. It's because there's not much that you do, but there are some fun things to talk about. You can still interact with the grimy, slimy world of Kane Lynch. So let's dive in, shall we? Yeah, so that sets the tone. You know, if you do not remember Kane Lynch 2, I mean, it's a franchise built to last, but 2 took a very, like, kind of interesting turn, at least in aesthetics, where it did this sort of, like, grimy, like, recorded on a shitty Generation 1 iPhone sort of thing. You know, I think it was a pretty bold choice, and they kind of nailed it. You can see a lot of artifacting in the game visuals. I think on PC you could take some of that shit off, things like that. But I think this takes place a couple years after Kane Lynch 1, Kane Lynch, Dead Men. And Lynch is living in Shanghai, and he's kind of doing okay. He's kind of a psychopath in the first game, but now he's kind of like chilled out. So we have Peter Stormare. Remember that there was supposed to be a Kane Lynch movie with like Bruce Willis and like Jamie Foxx for some reason?
Good to see you. Been a while. How you been? Well, here, let me get that.
I'm fine. It's okay. It was supposed to be picked up by...
Glazer. Yeah, we're seeing him tomorrow.
And it's kind of interesting because you see him kind of being a little like, hey, you know, I'm doing my best, sir. And Kane is just not having it. Just, I want to get this deal over with. You said I can make some good money.
Glazer picks us up tomorrow.
You can feel that it's supposed to be a third-person cameraman that's always behind your characters, kind of filming it from their perspective, even though it's really not. It's just a camera trick to make you feel immersed in the oh-so-memorable world of Kane and Lynch.
Yeah, he's been talking too much.
Okay, so when we're done playing gangster, I want to go to my hotel.
Yeah, sure.
So you can complete this game very, very quickly. I'd say in less than 3 hours. In fact, that was kind of my specialty when I was playing this, to do speed runs and see if I could quickly beat builds as they came in to make sure there was nothing going on. So off the bat, you're supposed to go up there in the stairs, but fuck all this dialogue. You can cancel everything and just kind of skip everything just by BAM! So we just skipped a lot of shit and it was still kind of going on. And the whole game kind of works like this. A lot of sequences just kind of happen. They don't wait for dialogue. You can just kind of speed through by running. Running's LB. And you can just kind of sequence break the game in some little ways. I don't remember most of them. I need to catch Brady alive. Brady's 25-meter man. All right, please, Kane. All right, I mean Lynch. Whatever.
Keep going.
I see that you're still
wow.
Lynch.
Weird things can happen when you go into cover in this game. And since there's a lot of cover, basically every surface is plastered in it. You could do strange little things like this. Even though I'm in cover, I can completely aim behind myself, which is a little strange. Kane Lynch just walking on his side. What an amazing superhero. It's an incredible power that I can't even fathom. What is going on? He's kind of crab walking around, but his leg isn't moving. It's a little weird. Why do all bug reports have to end like this? So you can see our target is through the window, just over to the right. So another thing you can do this game is this is so short. You can kind of... You only have to see a level once or twice before you know all the triggers and what happens. So we're just going to try to beat that guy to where he's going to be going.
Fuckers got back Right. Gloves on.
You can take a lot of hits and just start running. You can almost catch up with them. You can smell his wafting butthole. You're so close. The game would just end right here if I could catch him. They're going to be doing waist-high cover soon, so hopefully we can press that fast enough that we don't lose too much time. But it's there so that you can lose your target real quickly. See? I'm right on him! I'm outrunning him almost.
What the fuck is your problem?
Alright, I eventually got knocked down by some enemies there. Kane Lynch is doing some... goddammit, Kane's doing some things down there. Now, another little interesting tidbit about this game is that you can press down on the D-pad. I'll show you where available weapons are, but it's a functionality that only happens once the tutorial says you can do it. These little red canisters are actually explosives, and they don't count as weapons, but if there are guys that are there, these will blow up and kill them. And even though this woman is in this car, the windows will all stay. This car will take no damage, but this woman will die for some reason. You can see her just kind of really happy that these two Americans are here. She loves us. I'm going to shoot these. Woman is now dead, despite her car taking no damage. It's a little dumb, weird thing. I don't know why it happens. The game doesn't really care what happens when you're in cover. Whether it be NPCs or Kane himself, will meld, will create a confusion dance, whatever it needs to be. When you're not in cover, NPCs have mass, NPCs have collision, so you can't really do anything. But when you're in cover, all bets are off. I'm in your asshole, sir. Because usually NPCs run away when Lynch is near. They just go to the next like kind of cover point to avoid this problem. But this guy always stays here, never leaves, no matter what. I think I even shoot around him, and he'll just be like, "Ah, that's cool." Yeah, he loves it, actually. This, again, would be something very minor, like a C issue, maybe even less than that. No real sense in fixing it, unless it resulted in even worse things. Like, let's say where he would be a collision issue, where there'd be nothing in the ground. And let's say I go into cover here, and then I fall out of the world. That could be something that a developer would want to fix. Let's move him anyway. A weird thing this game does is that it censors headshots, but nothing else. It's a censor of nudity too if it happens. Doesn't like that. What kind of sucks about Kane Lynch 2 more though than it being a part of the Kane Lynch franchise is that in this game there is no melee. Even if you're super close to guys, there's just no ability to fucking just whack them with an empty gun. So you always need weapons. It would have been really preferable if you could get just a basic melee strike just to knock guys and put them off kilter. It's kind of weird that they didn't put that in at all. No, not you, sir. I saw you. There's Brady. He's still going. So we're entering the fish market. There's a couple new things that happen over here. Most notably, explosives actually really come into play. If I hold down the D-pad, nothing's really happening right now. If I hold down the D-pad over here, you can kind of see way over there, there's a little white explosive marker right in the center there. What we're overlooking is an area of the fish market you cannot go in. You basically go around here, and then you go around there, and then you keep going forward that way. You can't really access this part of the fish market, but for whatever reason, it has a couple of explosive devices here that you can kind of shoot for no real reason. With a shotgun, it's actually going to be a little difficult, so we're going to run back and pick up a pistol, or at least some more ammo for it, and see if we can get that going. Can I have a pistol there? Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure if you can see, but it's another little red sort of cooking device, some sort of gas can. It's very, very small. Let's see if I can maybe perhaps nail it. Nailed it. So that goes off, and everyone fucking loses their shit. Otherwise, you can't really interact with this area, which is kind of strange. Why even put stuff there that you can do things with if you can't actually go in there? So you can see another explosive behind that wall right there, that little blip. What's strange is that you used to be able, maybe I was only on the Xbox 360 version or something, which I bounced around between testing this and the 360. And earlier, you could trigger the look down for weapons command, much earlier than the tutorial said. And then I found some funny issues where it showed that there was explosives. Remember that one we shot before that exploded and killed the lady in the car? You could actually point that out, and it'd be kind of weird at first because the tutorial hadn't happened, so people weren't really sure what was going on. And they even placed some explosives that you could throw there, but I think they took them out in a later build. I'm not sure if it was due to the bug I had filed, but I'd like to think it was. So this man's just kind of hovering in the air, just standing on this bicycle. He is moving with me as I'm looking at him. And that is fucking freaking me out. Okay, I thought his head was going to start turning around like The Exorcist. Thank fucking God. I'm not sure why this has happened, actually. He's not scared. He's not scared of gunshots. Usually if you shoot... Oh, that's super scary. Oh, I'm sorry I had to. It was too scary. Run, run, run as fast as we can.
What the fuck?
You see those guys just pop into reality? They didn't actually come out of the cars. They just kind of popped in. So one guy is stuck inside a car. You can see him with that little biker helmet. Can't really get out for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. Try to destroy the windows and get a better look. Yep. He's a worker. He's a real good soldier, bicycle helmet man. Just right over there. I think that might be because since I ran through this as fast as I could, they didn't really have a chance for their animation to kind of finish up. So that guy's having real problems. Let's try to sneak up on him. Oh, is he okay, folks? He seems to have stopped the stuttering. So what we're going to do here... I'm going to pick up explosive. We're going to see what we can do with this. Nothing really happened there. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. He's in there, though. You can see his little feetsies. Oh, what a hero, this guy. You okay in there? Oh, fuck! So, places right here. This game's pretty generous with checkpoints. But let's go try to go even faster to get past all that shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what happens. The guys get stuck because you run too fast. Now, I'm in the down but not dead thing, which lots of games are doing around this time. Now, we're reaching the end of the level here. Our target and his naked vagina girlfriend are just kind of waiting for us down there. It's a little weird. I can kind of sneak up on them in this down but not dead state, and the cutscene will initiate once we get there. But nothing really happens. I've tried it before. Why does Kane have to speak like this? Why does Lynch have to speak like this? God, I can't remember these two fuckers' names. Right, Lynch is Peter Stormare, and Kane is actually modern-day Bruce Willis, where he's tired and cranky and a bastard. Okay, who else is left? All right, there's two Karchans left. You'll die now, Karchan. You've had your time. All right, so now that everyone's kind of gone, what we can do... Hey, what's this? There's two guys here that I guess they didn't load in properly. Didn't really come into the scene because I ran too far ahead. And they're just having like a Jacob's Ladder type moment together, it looks like. So what we're going to do is that the trigger for that cutscene I talked about earlier is going to be down there. Where is Kane? Kane is... Well, why is this person just standing on top of things?
Don't kill him!
This NPC really wanted this lady, really wanted a good look.
Coming in!
Hello. Yeah, she's reacting a lot like that other guy was reacting. She's like, move, bitch! Get out the way! I've never seen this type of thing before, actually, in the game. So yeah, what I was talking about is going to pick up this gas canister, and we're going to try to throw it where the cutscene trigger is, and maybe try to explode it right before I walk into the cutscene. I kind of know where the trigger point is, more or less. We're going to see if that does anything. Actually, never mind about what I said earlier about maybe the model's not being here. You can see this scared little shadow on the wall. Looks like the guy's bobbing up and down, so maybe he is back there. In which case, this might be interesting, because if there is actually a model there, could we kill him? Because normally you can't kill this guy, even if you've got a full clear shot. If you just pump him full of lead, nothing happens. So since there's a bevy of explosives back there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this right now, then I'll just detonate it as normal. Nothing happened. So let's go back and get another explosive. This is what bug testing is, folks. If if I haven't explained it enough already, it's thinking of situations like this when you're playing a game. But this is what I got paid for doing, basically. Is like playing the same levels over and over and over again, and finding various scenarios in which tomfoolery can happen. And you were trying to make big things happen. You were trying to make like crashes or memory leaks or falling through the world, things like that. So this is what you would do. You would try and experiment. So we're going to do this now, which is throwing the canister, exploding it, and just running into the cutscene to see if anything occurs, anything fucks up. I don't think it will, because the cutscenes in this, they're baked in movies, like I said. So I really doubt anything crazy will happen. No, nothing really happened. Well, nothing more crazy than this.
Okay, you done? Now come on, let's talk. Hey, relax.
Hey, don't do it. You're crazy, man. No. So that was the first level of Kane Lynch Dead Men. This next section is, if you guys are a fan of Heat, the movie, it takes direct inspiration, this game does, from that film. Because it's a fight on a highway. There's not much to say about it, so I might skip it, just because it's a straight run through. So it is possible to kind of skip this fight. It's a really long, protracted thing in this garage. It's a little tight because you also have to protect this old guy, Glazer, whatever. But if you can do it, you can do it. Glazer's wounded. Let's see if I can get it. Glazer is injured. Glazer is deadly wounded. Yes!
We got you!
We were able to get through it. Even though Glazer was about to die, he has died, and we are past the cutscene trigger.
You, what's the bloody number? Speed dial 2. Hello? That's me. I'm going in! Let's go! I can't get him from here!
So yeah, you're able to get through it that way, which is awesome.
Who this guy's thing is?
He's
Lynch!
trouble.
We gotta get to the
Drugs,
fire exit!
prostitute. Where?
Down the back, you see it?
Yeah!
And he's a genius.
Just run, just run.
Come on out!
Wait on the other side of that building.
So Glazer just teleports to where you are. As long as you can run through that sequence like that, you can just kind of skip that entire fight, which is neat. So I think that about does it on Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days. There's still lots of levels, but you've kind of seen one, you kind of see them all on how you can kind of sequence break the game, like I've said before a million times. And you can find little issues here and there, especially with kind of canceling out the full animations of the triggered events, like guys coming out of the cars and so on and so forth. I actually really enjoyed my time working on this. I was on it for about 3 months, and usually you have to be on a game for a certain amount of time for them to want to include your name in the credits, because you have to submit the list of people that worked on it, and you have to have like maybe 4 months, maybe just a bit more, for me to have sort of earned my right to be in the credits. So I'm not in this one, but trust me, I put my time into it. There's also all that online co-op and like multiplayer matches, but I was actually exclusively on the single player. I think the last few days of my time on this, I got to join in some multiplayer, quote-unquote fun. Didn't really enjoy my time with the multiplayer component of this, but so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of The Bug Report, Dog Days.